the more important reasons for me to make a home cozy and welcoming is so that I can host people in it and bless them by having them over, sharing some delicious food and great conversation. And now more than ever, as a mom who is staying at home with a little one, it is more important to me than ever to have a community of friends to encourage me and just to have people around to talk to. So I'm going to take you along with me. I just happened to have 2 days in a row where I was hosting people, and I wanted to share some of my tips for making it a little easier and simpler, and hopefully encouraging you to invite someone into your home and to show you that it doesn't have to be a very extravagant, time-consuming effort, but it can just be simple ways you can welcome people and help them feel welcomed and cozy in your home. I'm starting off here making homemade tomato soup and grilled cheeses. This is a simple recipe that I have been making for a long time, and it is very quick to throw together and also very delicious. I happen to have a loaf of sourdough bread that I had been baking. I've been really getting into learning how to score bread again. I took a break for a while because I've mentioned this before, but I don't really find this artisan bread that practical to eat with. It's hard to cut up and it's hard to eat, but it is so beautiful and it's really pretty to score. So I've just been practicing that. And I'm going to make some grilled cheeses with it. I'm going to show you this is a way that you can make grilled cheeses very quickly for people while still being delicious. So I just melted some butter in a skillet, and I'm going to toast the bread on the skillet, add my cheese, and then stick this skillet into the oven on low broil to melt the cheese. That way your bread is toasted, but it doesn't burn in the time that it takes to melt the cheese. This is a great thing to do when you're making multiple grilled cheeses at a time, and it didn't take me more than 5 minutes, but it is always delicious dipped into that amazing tomato soup. But before she came over, I wanted to tidy up, and this is something that is important for me to point out, is that the house does not need to be perfectly clean. There can be stray crumbs on the floor and things like that. I like to just focus on what practically can I do to make them feel more welcomed and comfortable. For me, that would be cleaning the dog hair off my couch with my little handy roller device, just picking up things that would be blocking where they could sit comfortably, and then cleaning off the rug. They have a little one as well, so I wanted to make sure my rug was also not covered in dog hair so that they didn't leave with a bunch of little hair sticking off of them. But that was it. I really didn't worry about the clutter. I didn't worry about dust on things. Just truly what practically was going to make them feel more welcomed and more at home. And I can guarantee you that I would say none of your guests come over and think, oh no, she has not dusted this side table, or there's crumbs on her floor. I think people are really desperate for community and to be invited into others' homes, and they're just so happy to have the chance that they're not nitpicking in a way that we might imagine. So this is another one of my favorite little tools if you have dog hair around. This is a little rubber broom from Dollar Tree, and it always gets the job done so well. Before my friend showed up, I just got my kettle going. I know that she enjoys tea as much as I do. She also is a lover of England and all things British. So I made a cup of tea, and we just had a great conversation, a great time together, and enjoyed that meal. And it was just such a blessing for me to get to have that time with her and to be filled up and encouraged by everything she had to share. Now again, I wanted to show you that there is clutter. There's stuff on this table I didn't know what to do with, and I just left it there because I'm not going for perfection. I'm just going for having someone over. And I think that the more that we can simplify the process, the more easy it is to actually want to invite people over. And we don't have to pretend like we're perfect, because we're really not. And that is just the beauty of life. Later that same day, I got prepping for my next event where I was having people over, which was a Saturday morning get together. I'm calling it Littles and Lattes. Maybe you've seen this girl online doing something called Baby's Bagels and Brews. It's kind of the same idea, just having people over, making coffee for them, having a little treat, and basically just having a time for a play group. I have some friends who have babies that are spaced out less than a year from my son. We have one friend who is actually my sister-in-law. She has a little girl who is 4 months older than my son, and then we have another friend who has a little boy who's 2 months older, so they're stair-stepped, and then we have another friend with a 2-year-old toddler. So we just wanted to open our home to the moms and dads on a Saturday morning, invite them over, and spend time together. I think I've noticed especially over the summertime, when I got to spend more time with my mom friends as they were teachers, how important it was for us to just share our experiences, to encourage one another, and to also just let the sweet kids interact with each other and socialize. So I am getting together some sourdough pumpkin donuts. I wanted to go ahead and prep that the day before so that the sourdough starter could kind of work through all of that flour, make it more digestible, but also develop a really delicious flavor. And I also wanted to go ahead and make a pumpkin spice syrup. I love pumpkin spice lattes, and I'm always looking for a way to enjoy it at home to save a little bit of money. And also it's great because you can control how much sweetness is in your pumpkin spice lattes and also what kind of milk you want to use. I personally really enjoy using raw milk, so it adds a little bit of health benefits to the coffee. And I made this syrup not really expecting it to be that good. I have made coffee syrups in the past and not really thought much about them, but this one is so good that I have been drinking it every single day. I packaged some up and sent it home with my friend, and she texted me needing the recipe, so I'll definitely include that below so you all can make that as well. It does have brown sugar and just regular old white sugar in it, so I like to talk a lot on here about reducing our intake of refined sugars. So I wanted to follow the recipe exactly this time, but I think next time I'm going to try to make it with coconut sugar in place of brown sugar, and then also cane sugar in place of white sugar. It's super simple. All you do is add the ingredients to a pot and you let that simmer. And once it was cooled down, I strained out the large cinnamon sticks, and then I just poured it into my glass for coffee syrups. This is actually a thing, I think you put like maybe bitters or simple syrup in it for a bar cart, but someone I watch on YouTube, she put her coffee syrup in here, and it's just a really pretty way to display it, even though it's actually recommended to put this syrup in the fridge. So it's a little hidden, but it's just one of those things that just makes life a little more beautiful and nice to look at. My perfect amount of the syrup is 13 grams. That I think that equates to about a tablespoon, and it makes for great flavor but not a sickly sweet drink that I was able to then share with my friends the next morning. And I cut off my face here on accident, but I was actually just super impressed tasting this, and I really enjoyed it. It is the next morning, so I woke up early and I wanted to finish up those pumpkin donuts before we had any friends come over. The recipe recommended piping the batter into the donut pan, and that was a lot easier than trying to spoon it in. Definitely saved on the mess. I used a pan that must be smaller than what the recipe recommended because I was expecting this to make I think 8 donuts, because I just made a half batch. I wasn't sure how many friends were coming over, and I ended up with 12, so it turned out great. And it was very easy to bake. They came out of the pan really nicely. Sometimes when you're using specially shaped pans like this, you deal with things sticking, but turned out very well, and we were really happy with the flavor of these donuts. It also called for a maple icing. So it was melted butter, maple syrup, powdered sugar, and that was very good. I think that this would also make a great icing maybe like on cinnamon rolls or something. So maybe this fall I'm going to have to test that out. Once again, this was just kept simple. I set out some mugs and my basket of tea next to the kettle, my iced coffee cups, and my donuts. I didn't have anything cleaned off perfectly, but it was just about welcoming friends over. I cleaned up our little play area, and I even got some board books from the library in case anyone wanted to read those. It's a very simple way to invite friends into our home. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it encouraged you to maybe invite some friends over this fall to have more community and fellowship with others. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to see more, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.